Muy bien. Alejandro Marin es el director de La X, de Todelar, es uno de los periodistas más importantes de las nuevas músicas en Colombia, una carrera sobre todo como entrevistador de grandes artistas, y hoy le sumará a ese repertorio estos artistas, Jamie Jones y Cedric. Los dejo entonces con Alejandro y esta entrevista.
Okay, well, we have a couple mics. I guess the first thing will be to thank you very much for being in Cartagena, restoring that. Ask you how you guys did. How you guys did last night. How was your show?
Yeah, it was great. I lucky enough to play the sunrise, and I caught a bit of Guy Gerber before me, and it was nice. It was a good crowd. Everyone was really up for it. Everyone stayed till the end, and yeah, I had a great time.
How long was it?
Sorry?
How long was it?
I played for 2 hours.
Wow. Amazing. How about you? How was your experience in Storia?
It was great every year, doing it every year, and it's getting better and better. Play as well 2 hours. Good production, the crowd is getting better every year, so it's cool.
Well, this is a conversation that has been going on for quite some time, and I don't think this is like 5 or 6 years ago kind of thing. I believe that as an observer of culture, more than, like an expert, because I'm not, but this has been going on for quite some time, this interesting conflict, if you could call it that way, between the underground and the mainstream. And I'd like to just begin with Jamie a little bit, talking about, like I said, as an observer of culture, more than an expert, but just like a fan of music of all genres. If you believe that there is such a thing as the underground nowadays, because it seems to me that growing up in the 90s, and being a part of like American underground culture, what happened in the West Coast in terms of punk and hardcore and how that was handled, it was so much more difficult to actually find your bands, your artists back in those days. There was this obscurity around the whole thing that just kind of kept you or some people away from those crowds and from those artists, and it was just because of the way it was. But it seems to me like nowadays, democracy in music is so big, the internet is so big, everything is just out there in front for you to take, cultural access is also very important. So is it a physical space? Is the underground really something that you can actually say is there? Or is it just a notion regarding aesthetics?
I definitely think that even though the world's changed, of course, with the main thing that with the internet, people's capacity to be able to find music and art and whatever is much greater these days. I still strongly believe that and no matter what you're talking about, there's always going to be an underground element. Now that's obviously what the difference is these days is that something that was considered underground, and to me that means that it's not so much what it is. It means that it's something that's a little bit more avant-garde, less people are instantly into it. It's not known to a lot of people, etc., etc. And I think that these days something switches from being, purely purist underground to being something that a lot more people are enjoying much quicker because of the internet and stuff. But there's a lot of people in my scene who have, I don't happen to be one of them, but do have a lot of gripes about, the underground sticking to the underground and this and that. The reality is there's always going to be some kid somewhere making something that's really weird and fresh, and 50 people in a basement listening to it in wherever city it is in the world, and that's always going to be underground. Now, there's music that we're into, which is what I play, which is more the techno side of things, the things that it's not so much in the mainstream, even though it's becoming more in the mainstream. It's the music is called underground because it came from that and it's been there for a lot longer. Whether a lot of the artists in my world are still underground or not, or whether they're, because they have millions of likes on Facebook or they go and play to 20,000 people, is that still underground? I don't know. I mean, it's yeah.
How about for you, Cedric? You've had your share of success. You're at the top of your game. Is there a physical space for the underground movement as it is for, say, the arena movement of electronic dance music nowadays, the festival movement? What's your take?
Well, when I started, it's funny because I didn't start my career like, I know people are putting me in the EDM scene, which to me is electronic dance music, but I think what people talk about EDM is the Dutch style. And the new generation of DJs that think that standing in the festival, hands in the air, and and playing things and being a superstar, that's what, and I understand why the underground people are kind of, not hating on it, but not happy about the EDM thing. But I came from being a resident of a pub, playing vinyl, going to a record store, buying music, playing space for 10 hours, 15 hours, getting paid like $400 an hour, and getting fired if I didn't deliver back in the days. I got signed with Deep Dish, so I saw it all, I went on tour with Deep Dish, I did that, I was making techno back in the days, tech house and stuff like that, and then obviously, my music changed, I went in a different direction, I decided to make something else, but I feel that, to me, the internet kind of messed things up a little bit, because there's a lot of people out there that they're getting blown out of proportion by who they are on the internet, and not because of the music. Back then, when I was listening to, back in the days, DJs like for me, Atanica, Acid Kirk, when I was into techno, Blanc, Emarie, and back in the days, I had to go to the record store and buy the record and find the tape and listen to things. So now it's just like people are liking artists because of their personality on Instagram or on thing, but it's not about the music anymore.
Right,
so
it's
I
a little bit
understand
more about thing, right?
What I'm saying is coming from where the underground is, I understand why there's a beef between the two sides, you know what I mean? And to me, it's, I don't do underground anymore, I do my music. It's, if you love what you do and you do it right and there's a crowd for it, it's cool. But I definitely understand why there's this whole thing right now and why I believe that the internet is messing things up a little bit.